Hello everyone and welcome to Life Creates Art. I am Shelly and I am so excited. We are at the last little episode of our Seeing Things Differently. However, with Life Creates Art, it's all about seeing things differently. When you are an artist or just going through life, sometimes you have to take your life and your creativity and turn it on its ear and see things a little bit differently. Just in life, when you have a situation come before you, sometimes you have to turn it and see it a little bit differently. And same with art. You have to work forward and take each step, turn things, see them a little bit differently, and move your creativity forward. And so that's what we did. We started this series a few weeks ago with taking a picture and we printed a copy of it and we cut it up. We sort of deconstructed it, 2 of them, and then we drew them. So we have our girl in the chair and we had our Frida, and everybody voted, and then drum roll, I was going to paint one of these and you all voted and 80% of you wanted Frida. So today I'm going to be painting Frida. Very exciting. And eventually I will paint Girl in a Chair on my own time. And so with my Frida, on this episode, of course, I take my time with paintings. I am not a 30-minute painter. I do take my time, but on this episode, I will complete as much of Frida as I can. And then at the end, I will show you what I have completed. And then I will let you know at some point. You can keep checking on Facebook at Art Life by Shelly or on Life Creates Art, and I will post my completed 100% Frida on there in my photos, and so you can check that out. So let me just conduct a little bit of business here for just a second before we get started. I'm going to take about 15 seconds, maybe 20. And so Fortitude is coming. If you live in the Bay Area here in California, in the San Jose area, I'm going to be having my first meeting. It's called Fortitude, Strength and Courage in the Face of Adversity. So if you want to come see me live, I'm going to be speaking. I have another speaker coming in, Miss Eleanor Rose. She's amazing and dynamic, and we are going to have a huge canvas for everybody. It's kind of a community canvas for everybody to paint. There's going to be affirmation paintings that you can purchase, and the first event is free, and so you can come check out what we're doing. We're going to have some music there, a singer, and somebody's going to just sing 1 or 2 songs, and it's going to be awesome. You want to come hear me speak, and it really a creative time, a learning time to help build you up and learn how to create your strength and your courage in the face of any adversity. It's going to be every month, the first Friday of every month. So the first one's free. Now there's going to be swag bags for this one. So I do need you to let me know an RSVP if you're going to be coming. So down in the comments, down below, there's my email. I need you to email me if you're going to be coming so I can prepare a swag bag for you. So there's the business. Thank you all of you who support us and love us, and thank you so much. We love you, our subscribers, and everyone who supports us on Facebook. So now we're going to get to this. Girl in the Chair is going to be awesome, and I'll post that. But right now, we're going to be focusing only on Frida. It's going to be really fun. So here we go. Enjoy the music, and I will see you all at the end and talk to you for just a second. All right. I love you all. You guys are awesome and beautiful, and keep creating and loving and moving forward with strength and with courage. All right. I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, well, here we go. I'm going to do a little voiceover here through this and hang in here with you. So here I am just setting a base. When I start to paint here, I really don't have a plan. I tried to set Frida up in this black and white form and get an idea of what I wanted to do, but I really didn't have a plan. And sometimes I like to paint that way, where I don't have an absolute plan, and that way I am more running by my instinct than I am anything else. So here I am fully running 100% by my instinct in where I feel like things need to go on this painting, not by necessarily where I have sat for hours and planned, this needs to go here, this needs to go here. Now I am putting the base for the flowers on because I know that I want to build that. I mean, of course, I am building a base on everything at first because you want to get some good tone. You want to start with a base. And so I knew I wanted to get some good red tones underneath, but I didn't know whether I was going to go with a flesh tone all over her face or if I was going to do bright colors. I had all different kinds of colors on my palette and really didn't know where I was going to go. So I was just letting my feelings drive me and draw me. And I like to work that way. And I hope you can get to a point where with your paintings, you can draw by instinct, paint by instinct. It's really a beautiful way to create. I added a little sharper tones to the shoulder, sharper edges, excuse me, to the shoulder, because I thought, I'm not drawing a realistic version of Frida, so I want to give it a little more edge. I'm not really good at drawing realistic or painting realistic flowers. I work very hard at it. I have done it a couple of different times, but it will take me days to get a flower looking a little more realistic. So I like it when I do more abstract flowers because I know that I don't have to get them looking exactly like a flower. I love more abstract work. And I knew I wanted to add some red to that cheek and just make it draw out as more of a red. And here I was going to add as if she had some makeup on, but I decided to bring it down further since it is an abstract painting. Wasn't sure if I was going to like that pink around the mouth, but turns out I really did like it. Sometimes you have to just do things with your paintings, and you might have to change it later. You might have to change the whole color. But that's the beauty, first of all, of acrylics, is that you can do that. You can paint over them later. And you have that base color underneath, which can draw out different colors, and it makes it all the more beautiful. But you also just have to do it to see if you like it. Be brave and be bold. You're never going to know, and you're never going to really understand what you are as an artist unless you're brave, unless you reach out and try to do these things. Because if you don't, you'll never ever know. And that's why I do a lot of paintings like this by instinct. Because if I don't, I'll never know what I have on the inside as an artist. Some don't work out, and that's okay. Just get rid of them or just keep pressing on. It's just like in life. You try something, it doesn't work out. You keep trying, and you get it eventually. But it's in the trying that you gain your abilities. If you don't try something, then you'll never get there. If you just sit there and say, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, then guess what? You'll never be able to do it. If you sit there and judge yourself based on other people's abilities, then you'll never get anywhere. 28 years ago when I started painting, I never in a million years thought I would be able to paint like this. But I just kept going and kept painting. And this is how I wanted to paint. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to paint this odd sort of abstract thing. But it took me a lot of practice and a lot of time, and not judging myself, not comparing myself to other people, but admiring their work and learning from them, asking them questions. I've met some artists that are so snobby. And I just had to kind of walk away from people like that because, man, I think it's just beautiful to share and to work together. And right here on that cheek, I don't know if you noticed when I was putting that red on, the paint was pulling a little bit. And sometimes if you work fast, like I was doing here, the paint, if it's not dried underneath, it starts to pull. So sometimes you have to let it dry in between. I was working pretty fast on this one, which is very unusual for me. I like to walk away, let it rest, sit and look at it for a while. But I got this one done happily pretty fast. Doing her eyebrow. I decided to do 2 eyebrows, make it really distinct, since her single unibrow is really distinct on our dear Frida. She's always been one of my favorites because of the I'm in chronic pain, and I know she was always in chronic pain, and she worked through it. She was such a bold woman, and she continued her art even though she was in just this intense pain. And so at night, when my hands, that I have arthritis in my fingers, and when they hurt, I just think of Frida and think, I'm just going to keep going. So I did the background here in blue. I wasn't 100% sure if I liked it. I generally try to do the background a little bit first, but I wanted to dig in right away with Frida. So I kind of liked it, and so I added a little bit of white, you'll see here in a second, around the edges, just to kind of soften things up around Frida. I didn't want it to be a real solid blue. Just adding some more detail, again, going completely by instinct on this. Some things I added, like what I'm doing right now, I was going, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I liked it better before. But you do it and you just keep going. It turns out I liked the brighter blue better once I was done. I use a thinner brush sometimes to do more of the detail, and then a thicker brush for some of the thicker outline where I really want to. I do a lot of outline with my painting. I have a funny story about that, actually. When I was a very young girl growing up here in San Jose, and I went over to my friend Vivian's house, and her brother was coloring, and he had outlined everything in his color book. And I thought that was so amazing. Everything on the inside was very light, but everything else was just outlined with this really deep and dark shading. And I just fell in love with that. And from that time on, everything that I did had a real heavy outline. And I've been doing that ever since I was a little girl. And I actually, so it's my natural instinct to outline things. So what I work at sometimes is not outlining things. But I just have this real draw to outline things. And it's from when I was a little girl and just fell in love with that in a color book. So if I ever see him again, I'll have to thank him for contributing to my art style. So I didn't really like that flower, so I just decided to make it something different. When you see it on my Facebook page at Art Life by Shelley, Life Creates Art on Facebook, you will see it. I'm going to play with that a little more, and the pink flower as well. And so it might look a little bit different once the painting is done. I wasn't really happy with that blue flower. Ooh, my hair's in the way. Sorry about that. Well, for those of you that have stuck with me this whole time, here she is, Frida. I mean, look at my hands. Quite a mess, but I'm really, really happy with it. I may play around with it a little bit more, but I really like her, and I think maybe Jason will show a couple of the other Fridas that I've done, a little more realistic, but I just love her, and I'm going to put her up on Facebook. She is going to be either hanging on my wall, or I will put her up for sale if anybody wants to purchase her. Again, I'll play around with her a little bit more, add a little more detail here. But I really like her, and thank you so much for voting, everyone. And this is Shelley signing out, and look forward to next week. And don't forget Fortitude, if anybody wants to come see me live. Look forward to meeting you. Don't forget to RSVP. All right, bye.